Geminis, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for May 30th through June 5th, 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, so Gemini, this week we have a new moon at the end of the week, Saturday and Sunday, which is going to be forming a grand cross in the sky. So grand crosses are all about constructively working towards really building a foundation in our life. And I think here the foundation is particularly involving yourself spiritually. Okay, the new moon is going to be in your 12th house. This is the house of having more ease in your life, having more peace in your life, and this all comes from acceptance. So it's a great week for all of us to be working on our spiritual development, but particularly, I feel like, for you Geminis. Okay. Now this week there's still going to be a lot of focus, I think, on your aspirations, which have been moving forward, which is great. Future things, that's been your ruler in the 11th house. That's definitely going on. But the new beginnings in terms of what's unfolding in this following month basically is involving your tranquility, where you can have more acceptance in your life, which then leads to that peace. So that's basically what we have this week, are all of the aspects forming up to that grand cross as we approach that weekend new moon. So let's go ahead and break this down in terms of what exactly is being cultivated here. Now, your ruler Mercury is very well aspected, has been these past roughly 4 weeks, and this is no exception. Monday and Tuesday, trining up to Pluto again. He did this already twice. So with this one, we've got this really good, deep ability to communicate, and really deep, powerful ability to really see what's going on within. And with you, I think, thinking about and perhaps expressing your aspirations, there's a lot of this power that can be had through really diving deep with that, seeing what your true aspirations are. What is it that really matters to you in the future? And a lot of this is involving relationships, which I've been transforming, which has been Pluto in the 7th. So it could be some positive transformations with that Monday and Tuesday. All right, so that's going to be the very beginning of the week. And then as we go into what'll be Wednesday and Thursday, we start to come into the first aspect with this new moon. And this is going to be the sun squaring up to Neptune. So the Neptune side of this has been from your 9th house, which is about the importance of really letting go along the life journey. The 9th house is everything that's also future related, but it's everything that expands us. It's all the possibilities. It's the optimistic, it's the worldview, it's that top-down perspective when we look at our life. It's also our adventurous spirit. Okay, so there's a tremendous amount of peace that's been trying to come through this area for you to have this, acceptance, in terms of the life journey. And that can lead to a bit more of the adventurousness, which is more receptive and more sensitive. But it does require that acceptance of the future, of the possibilities, of the life path. But in that way, it liberates us. And that's a very good way of working with this Wednesday and Thursday, which is going to be the liberation through the, accepting how things are in the present moment regarding the life path. And then that frees us up. And that'll free you up psychologically too, because again, all this 12th house energy is about really building yourself spiritually. Having that acceptance anyways. Neptune's associated with that 12th house. So it's a great week to constructively work on that, whether it's meditation, whether it's yoga, whether it's running. In fact, since your ruler's in Aries, I don't know, that could be, if that's the case for you personally, anything that puts you into a meditative state, all right, and really helps you cultivate that inner peace. So Thursday and Friday will be the next major aspects with this, and this is going to be the sun opposing up to Saturn. And so with this one, this is suggesting the balance. All right, now there's not always an opposition to a new moon, but in this case there is. So this is the balance of the not only spiritual side and getting the alone time or whatever else you could be focused on. It's also involving your work and your routine. All right, Saturn's been in here for roughly the past year off and on. So this has been about really working hard on your routine, working hard on your health perhaps, and maybe with your skills at work or in your work life and your work experiences. And it's through that hard work, through that discipline here, that you've been and are continuing to cultivate this area. All right, so that's good to put the attention there, but it's important that we don't imbalance this. We don't want to put too much attention on just the daily activities and just the work. Otherwise, it becomes very dense, very restrictive. And likewise, we don't want to just go into the alone time and sort of escape the daily routines, because then, we start to feel a little bit uncomfortable, like there's just too much of that, and it can really invoke maybe too much of that uncertainty or anxiety or whatever it is. So the importance here is balance, bringing in that meditative approach, that presence into the daily activities, and bringing in all of this stuff you've been developing with your routine to develop yourself spiritually. Again, spiritual exercises, spiritual activities, these kinds of things, or getting your routine taken care of so there is more time to relax or have that meditative approach. So you can see the constructive energy of all this, and it can be very powerful. And this week it's the balsamic phase, so it's it's very internalized here. It's a good week of allowing the energies to die down a little bit, to go within, to do the spiritual work, because what is being cultivated for the next 6 months, the next 12 months, is this new beginning with your spiritual development. And it can be very, like I said, the result very peaceful, very tranquil. So that's Thursday and Friday. Also, these 2 days, Venus is going to be squaring up to Neptune. Okay, so it's also suggesting the acceptance, and I think here particularly with your self-expression, Thursday and Friday, acceptance with that, since Venus does rule your 5th house. And what's really shaping up with this new moon, and you'll start to feel this, I think, Thursday going in towards that new moon, is this new beginning with your self-expression. This new understanding of what gives you joy and fun and playfulness in your life, which you are reflecting on with Mars retrograde in Libra, but this is what new beginning is. It's not only with the spiritual, deeper side of things, but also with your self-expression. All right, so maybe something to think about there, but this week, really working on the detachment to that, the detachment to the things you enjoy or things that are close to your heart, and then that can create the spiritual liberation, where it can come, it can flow naturally and come into your life in a very healthy and balanced sort of way. So that's the Venus side of it, new beginnings there on that front as well. And then Friday and Saturday, Venus does oppose up to Saturn. So again, suggesting the balance here with what could be very enjoyable, I feel like, with the alone time, remembering again the responsibilities and these things, and really bridging the gap between those two. Now, Friday and Saturday, the Sun and Venus will then be squaring up to Jupiter. All right, so here's where we get into the Jupiter side of this whole grand cross. So this is Jupiter in your 3rd house, and this is the North Node too. So there's a lot of new energy this year for you to be really getting into your inquisitive side, whether it's doing reading, whether it's writing yourself, whether it's exchanging with others, communicating, really getting into the practical side of things. And so that's where there's been opportunities. And I think the second half of the week, it's a good time to work on that constructively. Because Jupiter is, even in harsh aspects or in more challenging aspects, it comes across as kind of easy, right? But we don't want it to just be kind of, we're just taking the easy route with this. We want to work with it in the square. We want to integrate this. So I think it's a good week of seeing how we can learn more. We can maybe do some of that reading or writing or sharing, right? Which is the opportunities, and that can really lift things up a bit, especially with that square up to Saturn over there in the routine sector. All right, so that's going to be Saturday and Sunday, the new moon. All right, new beginnings involving these key areas: faith and trust, hard work and responsibility with the routine stuff, and that inquisitiveness. Also, you can have a greater understanding about peace in life and your connection with the universe, your connection with God. That personal relationship that we each have in our own way. It's not about the philosophy. It's just about that acceptance of what is. And it can be very peaceful and tranquil. All right, so Geminis, have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.